Welcome back, termites. It's night 41. What are you guys doing? I have my Blues t-shirt on. Can you see it? St. Louis Blues. Because we won the Stanley Cup in 2019, and I believe we get to just keep it in 2020, right? Hockey didn't finish, and we were in first place still. So I think that's a gimme. I think that's like a putt. It's close enough. Unless they're going to restart hockey, which I don't think. And look at this. I have some St. Louis Blues 360 vodka. What? Yeah. They gave this to me. I can't even remember why. But I worked there in college, too, as an intern at the Blues in the publicity department. And wow, what a great gig that would be to get for real. Because all you do is read letters of people saying, hey, we're having a charity deal. Can we have some signed pucks? And then I just write, yeah. You just make people's little tiny dreams come true all day long. Fabulous job. Okay, so we're Tanya at this point. Tanya, she's decided it's too expensive to be a professional cutter, meaning not the new term where people are cutting themselves. It's someone who rides a cutting horse, which is a herding horse. So I've been told, sort of. Chapter 19. I soon found out, this is the vodka and soda. Delicious. I soon found out I couldn't rely on house bands as my backup. And it was while we were in Nashville trying to put together a band, Dad heard Sonny James had a bus for sale for $32,000. Oh, here we go with the tour bus. It's going to be a lot of extra pressure because you're going to need to get to them gigs, pay for that gas. For that bus, especially if it's diesel. Shoo, buddy. It's a lot of money. Of course, we didn't have the money. And of course, we didn't let that stop us. Luckily, the bank decided it was a sound investment. Well, shit, then I'm going to go to a bank and go, can I have a tour bus? Maybe they will just do it. Finally, we had real wheels. The difference in driving along cramped in a station wagon and in a bus where we could sleep comfortably, kick up our feet, and actually move around when we wanted to was unbelievable. And I agree. I have ridden on many comedians' tour buses. Ron White's, Lewis Black. They are just, it's a wonderful addition to your life if you can afford it. And also if you want the pressure of paying for all that. I choose not to have. I say smaller circus, bigger profits. Write that down in your hat. Smaller the circus, bigger the profit. But some people like to spend money. Now we should take the whole family along on tour. I'm sure Daddy's in on that. It was the beginning of what has become a family business involving every member of the Tucker clan. Why don't any of them have jobs? My siblings all have jobs. They have their own lives. Like, they're not going to get on some tour bus with my ass and go to East Jesus to tell jokes or listen to jokes or whatever the clan was going to do. Things are starting to happen for LaCosta, too. Don't forget, we got her on the rebound. Her first attempt wasn't really that good, and so we're going to give her a second shot. Her first single, I Want to, W-A-N-T-A, I Want to Get to You, was released in April, and while it didn't burn up the charts, it moved along pretty steadily, ultimately becoming a top 20 record. Well, I'm going to have to go listen to that. LaCosta Tucker. I didn't know she had a hit. Her second release, Get On My Love Train, which became her career record, was far more successful, rocketing to number 3 in the Billboard and establishing her as far more than just Tanya Tucker's sister. In August of '73, we were back in Nashville to record a third album. Billy had found a song he believed was perfect to me. It was to be a number 1 country single, a top 40 hit, my first taste of career controversy. I didn't know it at the time. But the third album would also be my last with Columbia and Billy Sherrill. Well, that's a damn shame because that man believed in her and not a lot of other people did. Would you lay with me in a field of stone? Okay, I know that song too. Would you lay with me in a field of... And I know the controversy because she was only 13 or 14 and now you're kind of talking about, it's a little adult. Was a song David Allan Coe wrote to perform at his brother's wedding. When he brought it to Billy Sherrill, the title was Tell Me, Lady, Can You Pray? Well, I'm glad we got rid of that and went with Would You Lay With Me? I like that better. Tell me, lady, can you pray? Well, I'd say that is none of your business. MYOB, jackass. And Billy told David he had no idea what that had to do with the lyrics. In fact, Billy said he wasn't even sure what the song was about. David explained that the song was about eternal love that don't stop at the grave. God dang, use your mind. That's what it's about. Eternal love. And then you have to explain what that means. It doesn't stop at the grave. Right, that would be eternity. The line, would you lay with me in a field of stone, referred to a couple who would ultimately be buried together. At the time, I thought of it as a wedding song. Mother and Dad didn't like it a bit. They both felt it had a sexual connotation. It would be entirely inappropriate for me to sing at such a young age. Well, no, it means you're buried. You're in a field of stone. No one's having sex in a field of stone that I know of. I've never heard of that. I've never heard a poem about it. I've never read a book about it. It's about being buried. Now, if that's too adult for a 13-year-old, maybe so, but let's not put sex in where sex ain't even being talked about. The day we recorded it, we also recorded The Man That Turned My Mama On, which was, well, that's worse. The Man That Turned My Mama On versus Would You Lay With Me in a Field of Stone. Who's making these decisions? Which was a top 5 hits. Hits or not, these kind of songs were not my mother's style, even if the message in the lyrics were less suggestive than the titles. 1 month before I started recording Would You Lay With Me, Helen Reddy released Delta Dawn to pop radio stations. I remember that. I was probably about 10, and I remember her singing it. She, by the way, came to Los Angeles in a supper club, and I thought, maybe I'll go. And then I Googled what is a set list, and they said, don't expect any hits. She's going to sing some of her newer jazz things. And I went, well, you have fun with that. I will not be attending, even if it's only $18. Helen, here's the thing. We want to hear Angie, baby. If you ain't doing it, I ain't showing up. To each his own. Go ahead. Sing your weird jazz shit nobody knows. Where was I? Oh, Helen released Delta Dawn. I wasn't thrilled about it, but I wasn't anywhere near as burned up about the release as Billy Sherrill. Billy went nuts. I remember going to a CBS convention in San Francisco with Billy just after Helen hit the charts from what we considered our song. Billy was dressed in black, and to me, he looked like a gangster in an old movie. All the record executives did, as a matter of fact. He stormed in and immediately started bending people's ears about it. What really grabbed him was that Helen's record was so similar to Billy's arrangements. The problem, as far as Billy was concerned, was that his country recording would sell about 200,000 copies, and Helen's pop release using his arrangements would top 2 million. Well, that is bullshit, but isn't there something in writing about this? I don't know music. Aren't there rules? The amount of money, that amounted to a lot of money out of Billy's pocket. When the song hit number 1, Helen's producer sent Billy a telegraph. It said, thanks for the arrangement. Well, then you take that little note to court. That's what you do with that. Billy didn't know if he was being gracious or sticking the knife in deeper. That was probably the first time I really started to understand the difference between a pop record and a country record. Since Billy's arrangement had been used, pop and country couldn't be all that different. The lyrics had certainly appealed to the audiences. And the difference was the money earned. Would You Lay With Me was released in January of 1974 and was immediately met with opposition from several radio stations. Some went as far as to ban this song. You know, this will be a good place to stop here. Let's talk about radio stations banning things, shall we? As comedians, when I used to do the clubs, when you'd go to the city, you'd have to go in and do radio like Thursday and Friday morning. They'd stack them up, and it was fun. I liked going into the stations and seeing everybody. But the country stations were always the ones that were like, they were very nice, but they were always like, make sure you don't say this, don't talk about this. A lot of rules. And then I happened to be, I believe, in Columbus, Ohio, when the Dixie Chicks, well, let's say it like it is, Dixie Chick, Natalie, went a little off center court and talked bad about George Bush, W, in England. Now, I always felt sorry for those other two ladies in the band, because right in the middle of the set, when she said it, if I was the other lady in the band, I'd be like, wow, you just threw our whole career away and we didn't even talk about that? You're just going to do that without... I don't think Natalie thought about it, that it would be such a big deal. But the country radio station said they were so mad at the Dixie Chicks because the other two girls backed her up and said, we agree, which was awfully nice. Even if they didn't, they went along with it. They told everybody to bring their Dixie Chick CDs to the Walmart parking lot and to show them they were serious about not participating with the Dixie Chicks anymore because they're not patriots. They decided they'd all take their own CDs and run over them with their own cars and trucks in the Walmart parking lot. Now, this was on a Thursday. And you know what I like to call people with that kind of time? Unemployed. Who has the time for that? Even if you felt like it. Even if you were like, I don't like them Dixie Chicks mouthing off about W on foreign soil. Foreign soil. That was like we live in the 1700s. They were on foreign soil. Even if I felt that way, I still don't. Well, I do. I have the time, but that's because I work at night for just like an hour. But normal people with jobs don't go, you know what, honey, I'm leaving work. I'm going home. I'm getting all the Dixie Chicks CDs we have, taking them up to Walmart. The ones that I bought and paid for, probably $14.99 at the time. I'm going to run them damn things over. I'll show them. All right. It's just a little side story about country music and how that, and I don't think they ever played them again. Maybe now, but they didn't for a long time. They just banned them. So lesson learned, Natalie. Keep mouth shut if one wants to stay on the country station. Dummy up about your politics. Just keep singing. And then I respected her because she said, you know what? I don't even care. I made a ton of money. I'm good. I'm just going to go do whatever. Go for you. As my friend Rocky Laporte would say, go for you. All right, termites. That's enough for tonight. Little side story. Started watching American Horror Story Coven again. Just that season. The rest are too freaky for me. But it has Stevie Nicks in it, too. It's the greatest television appearance ever. Because I can't say its acting is that good. But when she just comes out and goes, hello, witches. Greatest moment in American television to me ever. And nothing will surpass that. Because I knew it was her. They showed a woman in black, but she wasn't facing the camera. She had her back to her, and then she just turns around and goes, hello, witches. Okay, termites. In the words of who? Papa Ron White. Night-night, termites.